Look, this isn't a story I really want to tell. If anything, it's one I wish I could forget. But if you work nights, or you ever find yourself alone in a quiet place after midnight, you might want to hear this. Because once this thing chooses you, it doesn't stop. This happened last winter, when my life was basically falling apart. You know that feeling when every day is the same? Wake up, drag yourself to work, get yelled at, pretend you're fine, repeat. I was running on cheap coffee and whatever was left of my sanity. So, when my boss told me I had to cover the overnight shift for a week at our small town gas station, I was annoyed, but honestly, a little relieved. I figured the quiet nights might be a break from everything else going wrong. Yeah, I was wrong. My very first night there, I met Jenkins, the guy I was relieving. Old guy, looked like he'd been working night shifts since electricity was invented. He hands me the keys, but before he leaves, he grabs my wrist. Hard. Listen, he says. There are rules for the night shift. Don't ignore them. I thought he was joking, but he pulls out this small laminated card and presses it into my hand. 4 little lines, written in shaky handwriting. 1. Lock the dumpster lid at 11 p.m. 2. If you hear tapping at the back door, do not open it. 3. Don't look directly at the mirrors between 2 and 3 a.m. 4. Whatever you do, don't feed it after midnight. I'm standing there like, what is this? A prank? But Jenkins just shakes his head. His eyes looked hollow, scared. He just muttered, "Follow them and you'll be fine." Then practically sprinted to his truck and peeled out like he was escaping something. That should have been my first warning. The first few hours were normal, boring even. A couple truckers, a drunk guy, a raccoon that kept trying to get into the ice freezer. Midnight rolled around, and I remembered the rules. Especially that last one. Don't feed it after midnight. Didn't know what it was supposed to be, but I wasn't trying to test fate. So I finished my burrito at 11:59 and figured I was safe. Then, around 12:40, I heard it. Scraping. Not footsteps. Not an animal. It was this long, slow drag of something sharp gliding across the outside wall of the store. I froze. Tried telling myself it was just the wind or that raccoon again. Then something tapped on the back door. Once. Twice. Soft. Almost polite. Like a child asking to be let in. My stomach sank. Rule number 2. Do not open it. The tapping got louder, then faster, like it was impatient, hungry. I backed away slowly, trying not to make a sound. Then something slid under the door. A finger. Human? Maybe once, but the nail was too long, and the skin was grayish, chewed on almost. I ran behind the counter, grabbed the baseball bat we keep back there, and just crouched down, shaking. The tapping kept going for a few minutes. Then it stopped. But I wasn't safe. Because the door chime, the one that rings when someone comes inside, went off. Except I hadn't unlocked the door. I peeked over the counter, and I swear my heart it stopped. There was a man standing in aisle 3. Or something shaped like a man. He was too tall. His clothes hung off him wrong, like they belonged to someone else. His movements were jerky, glitchy, like a puppet being yanked by the wrong strings. And then he turned his head toward me. His eyes were crooked, too far apart, and his smile, God, his smile looked like someone tried to copy a human one, but didn't fully understand how to make it. Half his teeth were normal, the other half were sharp, animal-like. And he said one word, dragging it out like he was still learning how to form it. Food. I ducked down so fast I hit my elbow on the counter. I heard him walking toward me. Slow, scraping steps. Then something slid under the door counter and started sniffing above the counter window. Loud, wet breaths. And then this long, thin, slimy tongue slid across the counter, feeling for something. That was it. I swung the bat as hard as I could. It connected with the sickening crack, and that thing shrieked. Not like a human, not like anything natural. It was this metallic, bone-grinding scream that my teeth hurt. It staggered back, and something fell out of its pocket. It was the rule card. The same laminated card Jenkins gave me. Except now, it looked old, dirty, stained with something dark. The creature snatched it off the floor and bolted on all fours out of the store and into the woods, gone in seconds. I locked everything, every door, every window, even the bathroom stall, just in case. Sunrise felt like it took a year to get there. But the next day, that's when things really got messed up. Jenkins didn't show. Instead, our district manager came to relieve me. Nice guy, mid-40s, totally normal. He asked me how my night went, and I told him about the rules. He looks confused. What rules? He asks. The card Jenkins left me. Son, Jenkins hasn't worked here for 6 months. My whole body went cold. I reached into my pocket to show him the card and pulled out a crumpled, dirty receipt instead. The card was gone, but the smear of dried something was still on my fingers. Before I could say anything else, I saw him. Outside. Standing perfectly still behind pump 7. The creature. Wearing a new human shape. Not a good one. The arms were too long. The posture was wrong, like it didn't understand how bones worked. And in its hand, it held up the rule card. My rule card. It lifted one finger to its crooked mouth. Shh. Then it slid behind the pump and vanished. Tom, the manager, never saw it. Nobody ever does. Except the night shift worker. And every night since, every shift I cover, at exactly midnight, there's tapping at the back door. Soft. Hungry.